told your friend you're not okay, and tell me what's wrong and why you never said you felt that way. And guess you're trying to stay strong and fake a smile until I look away. But I've known you too long, it hurts to watch your blue eyes fade to gray as you fade away, as you fade away.
Yeah, I'm about to fade away, cause every time I wake up I feel like it's Monday. Something's going wrong with all the chemicals up in my brain. All of a sudden I don't look at anything the same way. Gotta build up of my thoughts sitting in an ashtray. I'm sorry that I'm so inconvenient, okay. Just let me be me and I'll stay out of your way. I can see the way you look at me, I'm such a disgrace. I never really asked to be brought into this place. You wanna love me? Well then baby I have a taste. All the highs and the lows, no you'll never be the same. I don't really wanna hurt you but I can't control the pain. If you're sticking by my side maybe we could be okay. Okay, maybe you could be the change I need today. I promise that I've never felt this way. I really hope that you will choose to stay through all the pain.
I know you told your friend you're not okay, and tell me what's wrong and why you never said you felt that way. And guess you're trying to stay strong and fake a smile until I look away. But I've known you too long, it hurts to watch your blue eyes fade to gray as you fade away.
Now that's the deal you don't want to miss. Book now at servicemycar.com or call 800-BOOKING.
Get a comprehensive video surveillance solution for your business with Smart Analytics, a free 7-day cloud storage which you can upgrade, heat mapping feature to notify when stocks run low, real-time analytics, 24/7 web and mobile access and much more. All this at just 69 dirhams a month with free installation. To know more, visit etisalat.ae/VSAAS. T's and C's apply. Etisalat by E and.
With the Fab Travel Card, you can use miles on over 800 airlines and 500,000 hotels. Get free hotel nights, airport transfers, lounge access, no foreign transaction fees, and much more. Find out more at bankfab.com. Conditions apply.
This is Eye on Education on the agenda.
With the Royal Grammar School, Guildford, Dubai, passionate about creating personalised learning experiences.
Arabic and Islamic Studies for Royal Grammar School, Guildford, Dubai. Hello there, lovely to have you on the line again. How are you, Sajida?
Marhaba Jurriya, how are you?
Very well indeed, thank you. Now tell me, you've lived here in the UAE for many, many years. How important is cultural learning to children? How important is it that they get to visit these types of cultural institutions?
Thank you, Allah. Heritage and culture are always play a critical role in the personality of the kids. The character of an individual will be formed by the cultures that they are exposed to. And this is why, apart from the education and learning in classes, exposure to the right cultural environment is also a must to groom kids into a better human beings.
This is, I have to say, I'm feeling very inspired by this programme. I haven't really taken my children to very many cultural institutions yet. They're now 7 and 9. What age should I have started in an ideal world?
To be honest, as younger as they can be, it's a great idea to have them on school trips. When we were very lucky organizing and taking our kids to expo trips, for example, here in RGS we started these trips from FS2. We're talking about kids of age 3, 3.5. They were so excited to go out of the classroom, to be in the bus with friends and their teachers, and to spend the time learning about the world in a different eye. So to be honest, as young as they can be, it's great opportunity for them to learn outside of the school.
I mean, it sounds almost obvious, you know, I can almost imagine what some of the benefits are for children to go to these different types of museums, you know, to go to Expo 2020, to go to the art galleries at the Louvre. But are there things that I might not have thought of that actually, you know, does it, I suppose it opens their mind, it gives them, you know, a different forum, but are there other elements?
Absolutely. As I always, it opens their minds and hearts. These trips are not for fun only. Of course, I don't mind having fun time with the kids, but it does promote free mixing. And when I say free mixing, it means that the children with a broader view of other cultures will understand and accept other views and other opinions. They will respect the other faiths and beliefs that they are away from their own. Kids who are given the opportunity to explore the world, to visit museums, to have celebrations in school about other cultures, these kids will have a better opportunity when they are adults, especially if they are directed really well into the right environment. Last Friday at RGS we have celebrated the nationalities that we have in RGS in our International Day, and you cannot imagine the feedback from the kids, not only the parents and the teachers, but also the kids, how much they have learned from each pavilion and each country that they have visited.
Do you know, I always feel really inspired at the end of the Eye on Education programme to do a bit more with the kids, frankly. to not come back from work and just collapse on the sofa with a cup of tea, but actually to pick them up and take them off somewhere. Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure to speak to you as ever, Sajida. Thank you for your time. I hope you have a lovely weekend.
Thank you, you too. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Goodbye. That's Sajida Al-Bashir. She's Head of Arabic and Islamic Studies for the Royal Grammar School, Guildford, Dubai. Do tell me, where do you take your kids? If I'm feeling inspired now, what should I be doing with them? Alison's got in touch saying, I take my daughter to many places to learn about culture and history. I run a website and social media accounts on places to visit outside Dubai, and there are so many. Especially there's loads that are free for children or very cheap in Sharjah. Alison says that I should check out glimpses of the UAE. I will take a look at that. Thank you so much indeed. But yes, for sure, get in touch. Tell me where you take your kids. Inspire me. 4001, or you can message us 04871 5500. Not just me, of course. You can inspire me and everyone else at the same time.
This is Eye on Education on the agenda.
With the Royal Grammar School, Guildford, Dubai, sister school to one of the most respected schools in the United Kingdom, now accepting applications from FS1 to Year 7.
Hey, I'm Jeff Rapp, the co-founder of Virtue Zone. We set up companies, over 60,000 in fact. So you could go and talk to 50 different free zones, or just talk to us, the one-stop shop for company formation. Visit vz.ae.
This is The Agenda.
With Georgia Tolley on the UAE's #1 talk radio station, Dubai Eye 103.8.
Hello there, good afternoon. You are listening to your Friday edition of The Agenda. We are your daily digest of international and local news. And if your weekend started, I hope you have a good one. Congratulations. Rather wonderful to think of it ending at midday. It is time for our special segment, Eye on Education, which is our chance to look at all the schools' stories making headlines this week. And on the programme today, we're going to go aboard a Norwegian tall ship to find out what a classroom is like in the A+ Academy. Plus, as demand to join the Scouts rises exponentially in the United Kingdom, we'll find out whether a lust for the great outdoors post-pandemic is also fueling an enthusiasm for adventure right here in the United Arab Emirates. But first, here is your news with the wonderful Serena Kelly.
Your ARN News.
With Etihad Airways. This summer, Etihad is flying to a colourful and gloriously sunny city with great beaches, delicious food and extravagant fiestas. Malaga is magical. Book now at Etihad.com.
We are the UAE's most trusted source of information, with over 4 million people viewing and listening to our stories nationwide. This is your ARN News.
With Serena Kelly.
Creating and realising new opportunities and looking to the future with limitless ambition is why Dubai has continued to cement its position as a competitive global business hub. Those are the words of His Highness Sheikh Hamdan bin Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, Crown Prince of Dubai, who says the Emirates' ability to record sustained economic growth has been driven by the vision of His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, Vice President and Prime Minister of the UAE and ruler of Dubai. His Highness Sheikh Hamdan was speaking during the announcement of Dubai's gross domestic product growth of 5.9% in the first quarter of 2022. It follows on from figures that show Dubai's economy grew by 6.2% in 2021. US President Joe Biden says new gun safety laws will protect Americans and kids in schools. The US Senate passed a rare bipartisan package of legislation, sending it to the House of Representatives for further approval. The bill, seen as the first significant gun control legislation to pass in 3 decades, passed by 65 votes to 33. It comes weeks after mass shootings in Uvalde, Texas and Buffalo, New York. It'll see background checks tighten for would-be gun purchasers convicted of domestic violence or significant crimes as juveniles. But there's still a divide in the country when it comes to gun laws. On Thursday, the Supreme Court broadly expanded gun rights, overturning a law in New York, ruling Americans have a constitutional right to carry handguns in public for self-defense. And strikes have crippled Britain's rail network for the second day this week. Staff at British Airways voted for a walkout Thursday. Amid warnings, the country was facing a summer of industrial discontent. The spike in the cost of food and fuel is pushing many household budgets to the brink, driving trade unions to demand higher pay increases for their members. The government has urged wage restraint to avoid an inflationary spiral.
Dubai Eye 93.8 Sports.
With insurancemarket.ae.
The final test between England's cricketers and New Zealand is finally balanced, heading into the second day at Headingley. The tourists will resume on 225 for 5, with Daryl Mitchell and Tom Blundell having put on a 100 stand for the 6th wicket. Stuart Broad and Jack Leach took 2 wickets each yesterday, while England skipper Ben Stokes is yet to enter the attack. Play resumes 2 p.m. UAE time. That's your latest in sports. For more, check out the Area News Centre.
500 employees to serve you, over 15,000 Google reviews. For your car, health, home, life or business, get everything sorted with super quickness. Insurancemarket.ae. Best deal guarantee. Call 800-ALFRED.
This is Eye on Education on the agenda.
With the Royal Grammar School, Guildford, Dubai.
Hello there and welcome back. Now we're going to turn our attention to a slightly different topic now, because demand to join the Scouts has reached the highest level in the United Kingdom since the 1940s. Now that's according to the organisation, who say an increased zeal for the outdoors post-pandemic is behind the surge. The Scout Association said nearly 90,000 young people across the UK are currently on waiting lists. Meanwhile, Girl Guiding say they are also seeing a spike in demand, with nearly 55,000 people waiting for a place. Simon Carter, who's the national spokesperson for the Scout Association, said in the last year membership has grown by 16%. Now, I wanted to find out whether this was also the case in the United Arab Emirates, whether or not the pandemic had also had an impact on parents and kids' enthusiasm for getting out into the great outdoors. So we went on our, Zena and I went on our sort of research trips and found a company called the Overlord Academy. I'm joined now by Monty Rebellion, and he is the founder and chief instructor there. He joins me on Teams. Hi Monty, how are you?
Hi Georgia, good. Great to be on the show. Thanks for having me.
Well, it's brilliant to have you with us. And we did a bit of research and we discovered that the Overlord Academy is the first ever cadet club in Dubai. It's operated by you guys, your ex-British soldiers and officers, and the idea is to help 7 to 16-year-olds defy their limitations, build resilience, and learn how to be self-reliant. Now, the reason why I've heard of you, and I have to come completely clean, is because my kids have both been on your camps. Yes. My younger one in particular has changed his life. He's obsessed with lighting fires. And I say in a good way. Like, he's not like burning his bed, but he definitely really loved it. And we're going home to the UK this summer, and he can't wait to get out there into the real world, as he calls it. And he's furious that we make him live in Dubai, where he's mostly in a city. But I mean, he's one of them. Do you feel that there is this same desire amongst lots of families to get their kids out and about? And do you think it's a reaction to the pandemic? Is my theory correct?
Yes. Well, Georgia, it's great to know that they've had a great time with us, and that's exactly why we're doing it. And it's just so I can't the whole team hearing that will be absolutely amazed to hear it, because we are having an impact, and yes, that we are seeing that especially term on term, we are seeing a dramatic increase in people coming to us to say that they want their children to take part in activities like this. Every term that we are running, we're seeing at least a 70% increase. It's higher than the 16% that you're saying with the Scouts. We are new, so of course we're coming from a low base, but it's an amazing thing that we're doing, and quite rightfully, it should be happening here in Dubai. And just because we live in a city, and just because the weather is not as nice to us as we want it to be, it does not mean that something like this cannot exist. And therefore our mission statement is very much to build a cadetship program for schools in the UAE, and is to inspire the leaders of tomorrow. Very similar to the Scouts, and I can't talk on behalf of the Scouts, who are an amazing organisation as well. But as you may know, in the UK, there are 2 different types of youth club. There is the Scouts, but there's also the cadetship program, or combined cadet force, or army cadet force, or however you want to call it, air cadets and sea cadets. And it's not something we have here yet, or we have now. And we base what we are doing not necessarily on a combatant type of training, but on a search and rescue, mountain search and rescue feel to it, where we as ex-forces instructors are able to pass on some of that resilience and that training that we have had to the younger generation and youth of Dubai. So that's what we're doing right now.
Okay, so what type of skills do they learn other than lighting fires?
Yeah, I mean, it's a variety of things, and it goes from everything that you would find in a cadetship organisation. And in fact, I know that you work a lot with RGS, and and as also Repton School, and all these schools back in the UK, they have a cadet program in the school. It has been running for hundreds of years. The first cadetship program was back in 1860. They did it because there was a threat of invasion from France. That did not happen. Then it had another big intake in World War II. That didn't happen as well from an invasion. But everyone saw the benefits of what a cadetship program can deliver to the youth, and therefore it has continued. So it is 50 years senior to Scouts, and it's been going for a long time. And actually a lot of schools are coming to us to try and put that back in, not necessarily into the curriculum, but also even if it is a case of an after-school club that they want that's something different. The skills that they learn vary. We are massive on leadership. We are putting them in a position where it doesn't matter if you're the prefect at school, whether you're a captain of the sports team, everyone should be given an opportunity to be able to lead a team. And what we do is we do it in a very fun environment, but an active and outdoor environment. And all the things that, you've mentioned one, which is about lighting fires and things. These are just tools in order to get us to what we want to do. It's using things that get them out into the outdoors, and we use tools to be able to enable us to build the character. And it's really important, I stress on this, is to build the character of how we're going to progress our youths as they get older. And the main thing that I'm finding right now is that we, as society, we are too obsessed with performance and not necessarily the trust or the character that an individual has in an organisation. And if you look at us in the armed forces, we don't look at anything in terms of performance as someone we want in our team. And because of life and death, the seriousness of it, we want someone who is trustworthy and loyal and has the character that will be able to fit into what we do. So that is really, really quite important, and that trust and the performance element, it's what we try and bring in from the cadets. So it's a vast variety of skills, life skills, and of course, touching on the outdoors and making sure that they have a lot of fun at the same time. So yeah,
I mean, you
lots
said
of different things.
It sounds absolutely brilliant. You said that you've seen your membership go up by 70% each term. Do you think that there has been a bit more of a push because of COVID-19? Do you think when we were all locked inside our houses, we all started to appreciate the great outdoors a little bit more?
Yeah, I do think that has been I do think there's been an impact in there. I mean, looking at the UK right now, the government is so keen on the cadetship program that they have officially announced, based on a study from the University of Northampton, they have said they want to increase the cadets in their schools to 60,000 by 2024. And that just shows the reason as to why they want to do it and the benefits of it. Now, the pandemic has certainly had an impact. But I would say that before the pandemic, we were still seeing an issue where digitalization is a big thing. And I've always stressed that it's not about stripping that out. It's not about saying that, we don't believe in the digital, you're not keeping up with the times. That is absolutely not the case, because at the end of the day, those that don't embrace the digital world are going to be left behind. And what we're trying to do is we're trying to get them away from the screens that they have a lot of time on their screens. They're at school, at home, wherever they are. Now, this is an element where we pull them away from it, and it's helping them. It's helping them in so many ways. I'm hearing from parents that it's helping their anxiety. I'm hearing from parents it's helping their self-confidence, their self-esteem, and ultimately the character. Unless we start finding an algorithm that is going to say to, let's say we take the British Army, for example, unless we start finding an algorithm that's going to tell us the morale of that soldier or whoever's that we're in command of, leadership is fundamentally human. And that will never, ever go away. That despite how much technology we put into the world, we always say that the British Army doctrine is that no matter what, whoever is behind that screen, you are going to have to look them in the eye, and you're going to have to inspire them to carry out a task. And that is a human endeavor. Leadership is human skills. So it's really pushing that, and those human skills post-pandemic have probably not been where we want them to be. And therefore, the surge that we're seeing is a case of right, we need to be able to like bring this back and be able to help the youth get back into the ways that they were before. So yes, I do think that is having an impact.
Yeah, I mean, oddly enough, one of the first Eye on Education programs I did, we talked about the fact that how the pandemic has set children back, and we spoke to the principal, Claire Durnbull, of the Royal Grammar School, Guildford, Dubai, and she said the reality is that the younger children are okay, but the children who have missed out on socialising are the sort of young teens, and they've literally missed out on 2 years of normal life where they would have been in school, and they're great at socialising with adults because they've been at home with their parents, but they're not necessarily so good at socialising with their peers. And I imagine sort of efforts like this, if you go out on camping trips, if you're going out into the desert and doing these types of leadership tasks, will really encourage children to develop those sort of more social skills. Do you do it for girls as well as boys?
Yeah, it's absolutely, yeah. It's open to girls and boys. You know, our chief of staff is Amy Parkinson. She's an ex-major. Fantastic. You know, she comes and she inspires a lot of the girls that we have. In fact, I hate to say it, but the girls, I don't hate to say it, I'm pleased to say it. I've got a daughter, so I should be able to say this. But it's great to see that the girls are actually taking over some of the boys, and that is in our hearts where we want to try and, you know, keep inspiring that you know, the females and the girls to be able to say, you know, they can do whatever they want, and it doesn't have to be in this ordinary route of what society expects them to go down. I think that the thing is as well, what you touched on there, is the older sort of coming into teens. You know, UNICEF, I know, have said that 1 in 5 are suffering at the moment. 15 to 20-year-olds are suffering from that lack of, you know, the connection and that sort of anxiety and almost feeling like they don't want to get up and do things. Now, the younger ones in our troops, as you say, it goes from 7 to 16. They're great. They're getting involved. They're getting stuck in. Now, the older, slightly older ones, they're needing a bit of time and coaching. But when we put them in a facility like our partner, okay, and they're one of the best, most advanced crew training facilities here in the UAE. They're called Dynamic Advanced Training. When we put them there in a scenario where we put them into a wave machine with rain coming down at them and the chaos of an Arctic room and the search and rescue, mountain search and rescue element, when we do that with our partner in facilities like that, it's amazing how they snap and change and gives them a new lease of life. And I think we have to keep doing it. It's not something that can be a tick in the box. Let's just try and do something, you know, once or twice. It needs to be that they continue to put themselves in this sort of environment. And this doesn't stop. Okay, the cadetship program goes all the way, but then when you go to university in the UK, the UOTC, the University Officer Training Corps, is also another version of the cadetship program we have here in schools. So when they go into that, these skills will set them up to do whether something they want to do something like that, or to just give them that character and the life skills when they move on out of here. My mission is to burst the bubble, Georgia. That's what I'm doing.
You're bursting the Dubai bubble. What I love is the idea that somehow there's a room that you can go to where it creates the conditions of the Antarctic and a storm. I mean, that just sounds bonkers. Is that here in the UAE?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, you know, we have exclusive rights with schools now to take them there. You know, we actually took a school trip there only a few days ago. I'm not joking. This facility is incredible, and it's designed for, you know, aircrew. Okay, but we know that by working with people and facilities like that's great. And the added thing is, everything is possible. Okay, everything is possible in life, no matter what. And I've always been told that through my training. And if someone says to me, you can't run a cadet club here in the UAE, I said, I can, because I can work with facilities that I know are going to deliver what I need them to deliver, and that facility is indoors, right? So it's about trying to find those environments that allow us to do what we want to do. You know, we camped indoors, and then we did the survival experience inside of the sea survival room. But allowing, the other thing that really does get me is when people say the younger generation of today haven't got what it takes or aren't as good as the PlayStation generation and things like that. That's not the issue. We're just not putting them in an environment to test them.
Really?
And until you do that, you won't notice it.
Really inspiring stuff. Monty, thank you very much. Clearly, I'm going to have to send the kids over to you so they can become even more, adopt even more of a leadership role in our home, which is slightly scary. But Monty Rebellion, founder and chief instructor at the Overlord Academy, thank you so much for your time. Really, really interesting stuff. Great to hear that more kids are indeed getting out into the great outdoors.
Thank you.
Eye on education on the agenda.
With the Royal Grammar School, Guildford, Dubai, passionate about creating personalised learning experiences to nurture independent and future-ready young people.
Do you ever feel like there's just not enough hours in the day for your business? Then you need Zoho One. It's a software suite of over 45 business apps that let you automate everything and run your entire business online for only 135 dirhams per employee per month. Save time and money and grow your business into a money-making machine. Visit zoho.com/one or call 800 Zoho to book a free consultation today.
Cars UAE presents the Summertime Special Celebration with their final 5 Evora GTs to be sold. Enjoy the wonderful everyday sports car from just 5,999 dirhams per month, or from 399,000 dirhams with free insurance. Visit Dallas Motors showrooms on Sheikh Zayed Road, Dubai, or Corniche, Abu Dhabi, and drive away with a brand new Lotus Evora GT this summer. Terms and conditions apply.
Over 40? For you, the risk of colorectal cancer increases every day, but it's in your hands to prevent it with early screening. Sheikh Zayed Medical City, in partnership with Mayo Clinic, has a team of experts applying a unique artificial intelligence technology to detect colorectal cancer before it develops. To book your consultation, visit preventit.ssmc.ae or call 800-50. Sheikh Zayed Medical City, the power of care.
With every business quarter and new targets to achieve, some parts of business are hard to predict.
Except sales.
Sales?
Absolutely. When you understand your sales funnel, quality marketing and lead generation, you can drive sales. That's why I use Nexa.
Predictable sales in unpredictable times? Tell me more.
They're an established marketing agency who use technology to identify the hottest leads and help you to convert them.
Sounds interesting. What's their website?
Catch them at growthbynexa.com.
It's time for total relaxation. Spending your day by the pool at the Deck 2 Pool Lounge at the Address Sky View. Nowhere else provides such magnificent views of the city and the Burj Khalifa, plus exquisite food and drinks. Just 200 dirhams, with 150 dirhams redeemable on dining. Call 04-873-8888 or visit addresshotels.com.
This is Eye on Education on the agenda.
With the Royal Grammar School, Guildford, Dubai, passionate about creating personalised learning experiences to nurture independent and future-ready young people.
Right then, we are continuing our conversation about the importance of the great outdoors. This is all off the back of the fact that demand to join the Scouts has reached the highest level in the UK since the 1940s. Membership's gone up by 16%. Now, aside from getting the kids to explore the outdoors and nature, another aspect of being a Girl Guide or a Boy Scout is social responsibility. And I'm joined now on the line by Oliver Finneran. Now, he's from an organisation called Fathers and Kids Camping. They're a Dubai-based network of dads that meet on a monthly basis with their kids and go on mind-blowing adventures. They've been going since 2010. They started off literally just going camping in the desert here in the UAE, but since then they've developed and now do a lot of activities outside the United Arab Emirates to help different communities. And he joins us now on Microsoft Teams. Oliver, hi, how are you? Lovely to speak to you.
Yeah, fantastic. Thank you for having us. It's been a great
journey. Yeah, sounds like it's been an absolutely amazing journey. I've spoken to Farhad in the past as well, and I sort of know a vague sense of how this group has grown over the last decade. I mean, during the pandemic, I guess it must have been tricky for you to do your camping trips, but I guess those have restarted now. Have you seen an increased enthusiasm for them since the pandemic?
Well, I think this is one of the things that is the reason why we're seeing this boom in interest. Again, with Father and Kids Camping, we're seeing friends that we've chatted about this to in the past that weren't really interested in joining us, are now suddenly wishing to join up, and we're even tonight having a meeting with people's mindsets a little bit, at trying to get the kids out of the instant gratification of media and digital devices. And all sorts just around the corner, but obviously when you're shooting past in the car and kids are on devices, they just miss all of this.
Do you think you